Hello everyone, today I'm working on this GS4 and it was sold as a non-runner. Actually, I don't know what's wrong with it. There's a little bit of wear on the box, but I bought it because cosmetically it looks very nice. I've got all the box, including the instructions, which I may need actually, because I've never done one of these before. So that's pretty cool to show you how to take the shell apart. So I might need that. It's missing the little baggie of parts, I think. But other than that, cosmetically, it is very nice. Let you guys have a look at it. So I don't know what's wrong with this, but as you can see, cosmetically, it is very nice. I tested it on the bench, and in fact, it does not run. Now, I think somebody's been in there because the cab is very loose. The cab is loose, and the front little of the boiler also is very loose. But it doesn't, nothing's scratched up or badly abused, so that's good. So I did test it on the bench. The tender, everything seems to be okay, but the front here has a short circuit. So I'm going to remove the tender just so it's easier for me to handle it. So we'll take a look at what's inside the tender first. You know, considering all the number of trains that I work on, I really should get an engine cradle, a foam cradle for this. Anyways, I make do with just a rolled up fiber cloth. This will work for today. So how I like to remove the tender, I just take one of the wheels off, and there's two little tabs here you can pry on. I'm gonna put some light on this so you can see it just a bit better. So you pry on these little tabs. Pry on these two little tabs, and that will release that truck for you. And that will give you access to the lower drawbar. I'm pretty sure the real engine like this has two drawbars. So that's quite a bit realistic. On this one, the two drawbars, they are used. One connects the tender electrically to the engine, and then the other one, the top one, it will connect just the motor. So if you want to switch, this one connects just the motor. So if you want to switch it to DCC, the motor's already isolated from the chassis. So they did that on purpose. So this is meant to be an easy swap to DCC. You just have to spread out the back part. And this comes out on the bottom just like that. So this will pop out as just a weight. And the drawbar will pop out. This is the drawbar. So that looks good. All this stuff all looks really good. And then you have the bottom of the tender and these two little tabs. There's many videos on this. So the two little tabs go like here. Actually, I will put them back so that they're easy to find for when I want to put everything back together. This is worth a little investment in time. At any rate, if you want to convert it to DCC, you just switch out the circuit board here for a DCC board, and the engine's already pre-connected for you. So this has two little pins that ride in here. They ride in here, and you just install that like so. I've got my drawbar loose, but look at this thing, just absolutely flawless. So cosmetically very nice, but does not run. This rear truck is also very easy to remove. You just pull up on it a little bit and it comes right out. Just like so. So that can go on the side. Shall I remove this at this time? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to try to remove the top of the shell here. That's my next step. What about this drawbar? This drawbar, it can stay there for now, I think. But so far everything looks good. So what could be wrong with this? Well, there's a short circuit. So two type of things can happen. Maybe something is out of place. So that would be great. That's what I'm hoping for. I take the engine apart, put it back together, and it'll run. Or there could be a part missing. Or there could be an extra part in there, which also I'm hoping for. Oh, the boiler just comes out like that. Well, that was easy. Let's have a look at the boiler. It too is in perfect condition. Very nice. It's got the little number boards and the little classification lights, the horn. With the shell off, you can take a better look at the bell. So that is a nice detail they put there. I like it. So this circuit board controls the lights, and it looks to be pretty cool. I'm going to put power directly to the motor. Let's just see what happens with that. So the motor is isolated electrically from the rest of the engine. So the rest of the engine might have a short circuit and the motor can still run. Oh, that is so cool. I'm gonna take down some power. Maybe just a little more. I feel it humming. So this is going to be salvageable. Like I said, maybe it's an extra part, maybe it's a part missing, maybe something's out of place. So I'll take a bigger look at this under magnification. Upon looking at it, the bell is crooked. Maybe that was touching the two frames and making a short circuit. It's very loose though. I don't think that's normal. But I think I'm gonna work that out by putting it just a little bit of crazy glue on there. I'm gonna test out the circuit board. That looks like it's moving a little bit, but that should still be okay. So it just lifts up like that. As I'm looking at everything, everything seems to be in good shape. I did notice though, I am missing the two little bars, two little chrome bars that go on here. It's not too noticeable, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. So wow, really beautiful. And I did move the bell around and the short circuit is gone, so I'm not too sure what's up with that. Let's test out the circuit board here. Sure is beautiful, all this stuff. Now, I'm not putting a lot of power on there, just barely so the motor could turn. That's not a lot of power. Just so you can see if the lights come up. I should get something. Okay, so good news, everything's working perfectly. That flashing LED, of course, is your Mars light. So that is all good. I like it, that's good news. So the motor's in good shape, this little circuit board's in good shape. The only thing I've changed so far is I took out the bell. The bell's right here. So the hole for the bell is just a little bit too big, so it won't stay in its place. And I looked at a couple of videos and I looked at the engine itself. This little circuit board here, very easy to remove. A lot of the Kato stuff is meant for the people at the factory to be easy. So it's also easy to work on. So this is the upper frame, so the motor is connected to this. So it's separate from the wheels. And this is part of the lower frame. So the lower frame is connected to the wheels and it brings electricity to this little circuit board. And this upper frame part here, that is separate, and electricity is brought from the tender with this. So you can convert this to DCC easily. Just gonna test out my circuit board now. So I would have to put power to the wheels. So let me put power to the wheels and we'll see what happens. Whoops. So there we go. Everything's perfect. So the motor is insulated from that. But if I put power to the motor, the wheels start turning immediately. So that is very good news. That probably means if I reconnect the tender, I should be in good shape. Just gonna make sure all my little bits for the valve gear are there and they're working and they're not interfering with anything. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. So awesome. I'm gonna reattach the tender now. Could that have been that easy that I just moved the bell out and that was causing the short circuit? Actually, when I bought this, that's the type of situation I was hoping for. Now, as I put this back together, I want to make sure these little pins are applying pressure on the side of the contact strips in the trunk. This makes the whole bottom of everything one electrically. The back truck is connected via these contact strips, which go under here all the way. So I should just be able to snap this back. It shouldn't be too hard. Like I said before, these are meant to be easy for the workers. So there's probably a really cool method for this that they use. They probably we have a good method for this. So I make sure that my pins are in their proper place, which I can see this one is not. So I'm gonna drive it back into place with my screwdriver. It's tough to show on camera, but they're both in their proper place. Now I can bring in the top, this top contact strip. Everything looks good on it. I think it was just the bell finally. This is the time to be careful and take time. As I put this top drawbar together, I could see these little pins were touching each other. So that can create a short circuit. That would be bad. Then I got to put these hockey sticks back on there. And they have a pretty specific placement. So they have to touch the end of the drawbar, and they have to touch the little circuit board. And that, if I put it back together correctly, should be enough to run. So let's go try it on the track. Also, I'm not replacing this middle wheel because I'm going to take them apart later on to clean them. Now I just want to make sure I got the problem solved. I had my hockey sticks wrong. They should right in the middle here. I had them on the outside, and this is still very close, but I think they don't touch, so I should be okay. Looks like they don't touch. Anyways, we'll find out on the track. Still not running, but I'm getting closer. It has something to do right now with something with all these contact strips and drawbars. I'm feeling very close to have the solution. Close, but no cigar. So I think between this truck and these, between the lower drawbar and the upper drawbar, I'm not getting contact. So I'm gonna fiddle with that, fine tune it until I got it going, but it's very close. See if I hold it up and I put pressure on the tender, it runs just fine. So I'm close. See now, if I put power to the wheels, the lights come up. If I put power to the tender, the light comes up as well, and same thing to the back. If I go to the back wheels, the lights come up. So I know my problem. I know my problem is not in this section. This section is all good. It's from transmitting the power on the top here is where I'm having issues. So that's it. I have to work on this section here to make it happen. I'm gonna try bending my hockey sticks. They have a slight bend in them. I'm gonna try bending them just a little more. Let's see if that helps. I think I got it now. Only way to know for sure is to go on the track. What it was is my drawbar. The two little leads there, they were just a tinge out of their socket there. So let's go try it on the track. So there you go, and sail is so small, a 0.01 millimeter misadjustment. can make a difference. And now it's running the way it was intended. You can tell the LED is going off. It still has power pickup problems. So that I am going to clean the wheels. That's something I can follow. But other than that, I think it's good. Well, that's a relief. I was a little worried there for a second, but I'm glad I got it going now. So the next step is going to be to give it a good wheel cleaning. Well, let's clean some wheels. So that goes right back over here, because I am going to flip it. I'm going to flip it around, bring back my my locomotive cradle here. Now we'll just flip this around so we can get in there and clean these wheels safely. So how I do it is I'll just take my rag and I'll bring it over the wheels like this, gently. So if you'd like to own this engine, I'm going to put it up for sale on my website. It's called watchtrainsnow.com, and I've got a lot more stuff on there. Come and take a look. If you want to help me out with the Google algorithm, just come in, take a look, click to a couple of pages. It's going to help me. It's going to help me to make more videos. Yeah, this wheel here has the traction tire. You sure can feel it. So I'll just move the wheels around a quarter turn. How I do that is with my power supply. So I'm going to move it around just a quarter turn. And then I'll clean that side of the wheels now. And then these little wheels up front, if you go gently, they'll just pop out for you. And then you can just clean them like that. Well, I'm really glad I got this engine. It's turning out to be quite a nice piece. And then you can just pop them back in. And then for this rear truck, it's just it's exactly what you're used to, just like a freight truck. You just spread it around a little bit and let the little axle fall out. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. You've probably done that a million times. I know when I get a new freight car, I like to get in there and pull out the freight trucks, pull out the wheels and clean them. Especially with the Bachmans, they have very, very nice metal wheels. Look at the nice detail on these wheels. You rarely see it. You don't see it when the locomotive's operating, but that is nice. Yes, that's really very free rolling. So you just lift the little tab here and you just pop it back. It's got its little place under the frame. Easy breezy, Japanesey. Like I said before, these are meant to be easy for the people at the factory to work on. And then I never put this one back. I'll give you a little close-up. So check this out. They made a little suspension here on both sides. They've been doing that for a little bit. Every engine has a little bit of suspension. That's really cool. And I noticed this driver too seems to have a spring on it. So they do a lot of work, and you can feel it as the locomotive goes down the track. A lot of extra attention to how the locomotive runs. I appreciate all their hard work. So I have to do what I do them one at a time. I just take them out of the trucks one at a time, and I clean them like that. They're not super dirty, but since I have it on the workbench, may as well take care of that. Even under the engine, there's nice detail throughout. So check that everything's rolling, and that the wheels are in their little pockets perfectly. There's nice details throughout. It's very cool. You have to worry about cosmetic stuff. I still have a little bit to do up top. For example, after glue the bell back in, the hole got enlarged somehow, so I'm gonna glue it back to where it goes using some crazy glue, but I use it very sparingly. I'll apply my glue with a toothpick, making sure to put just a little bit. Give you a close-up of that. So that could have been my problem. You can see the two frame halves. The bell is metal, so if it was touching that, that could have been trouble. And you can see the two little flagpoles. It's beautiful detail throughout. I think this little guy fell out of place. There we go. So yeah, beautiful detail throughout. And then this little part has to fit over the bell. So as you bring it in, just be mindful of that. You have to take your time and get it just right. Look at that, and then the cab. That's probably why when I got it, the cab wasn't fitting perfectly. It's because the boiler wasn't fitting perfectly. But that actually is good. It's good now. And then the boiler front. The little grab iron goes on the bottom. That should also just snap in there. Easy breezy, Japanesey. There's a little tab on the top there. I'm going to slip that little tab first, and then we'll see if that helps. That should go in easy, just with this angle I can't see what I'm doing. And then that's it. It just slips right over that little tab, and we're ready to go. And now it's time to run some trains. All aboard! Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.